Francisco at Lang Racing Development. I'm here wanting to talk to you guys about our F80 that's back in the back view. We use that vehicle for research and testing. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Boot Mode Stage 1 upgrade that is available for that vehicle that we offer here at this location. The Boot Mode Stage 1 is a software improvement that'll give you up to about 50 horsepower increase of around 70 foot-pounds of torque increase. I'm going to talk about the tune as far as the performance gains that we can get. We're going to look at some graphs. We're going to talk about spark plugs too. By the time we're done, we'll tie the two together. Okay, you guys, so here on the screen on my laptop, I have the charts, the results for both the stock tune and the vehicle after we've installed the Boot Mode Stage 1 performance tune. I'll start off by giving you guys the values. This was taken on our Mustang dyno. So the values for the stock tune were 353 horsepower and 358 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, so that was out of the box, no modifications on the vehicle, completely stock. Once we went ahead and we installed the Boot Mode Stage 1 tune into the vehicle, we ran the vehicle and our performance gains were actually really impressive. So we actually wound up with 398 horsepower and 422 foot-pounds of torque. So it was about approximately 50 horsepower increase and about 70 foot-pounds of torque increase just with a tune, just a flash. That was the end result of this tune. So I wanted to now go ahead and talk about some things that need to be taken into consideration. Not very many. While we were running the vehicle on the dyno, once we had installed the tune, the vehicle experienced misfiring. So I'll show you guys on the screen what that looks like for us on a chart, but I also described the vehicle was popping. The vehicle was obviously shaking, misfiring, and that was because of the spark plugs. Here on the screen, you guys see that the two different pulls the vehicle performed with the tune already installed. The one that shows the dip in it, that represents this dip of horsepower and torque, was while the vehicle was misfiring. So we only saw one dip here, but throughout this course of time, the vehicle was misfiring heavily. We found, after we looked into the cause, we found that it was actually our spark plugs that were causing a misfire. Why our spark plugs were causing a misfire is the gap. The spark plug gap was too large for the setup that we had on the vehicle. The gap on a brand new spark plug is about 30 thousandths of an inch. The gap that we chose and found that was optimum as far as performance goes and it eliminated the misfiring with the vehicle's tune was about 20 thousandths of a gap. Gap is critical when you have a high compression engine or an engine that has forced induction. So those two characteristics create more pressure in the cylinder, and those will result in misfiring, because what will happen is the amount of voltage needed to jump the gap will be strained and it will be affected and it'll cause misfiring. The way the fuel mixture is burned, you have electricity jump this gap. When electricity jumps this gap, it starts to burn the air fuel mixture. If you have too much pressure in there, it'll make it more difficult for the voltage to jump the gap and it'll lead into misfiring. Okay? Misfire means that the mixture did not completely burn, it misfired. The misfire condition will be felt. You'll have shaking in the vehicle, you'll have popping in the vehicle, and it could be damaging to the catalyst or other components. What we found and what we did, we reduced the spark plug gap. We installed NGKs, which is what we recommend. We prefer these over the Bosch. We reduced the spark plug gap down to 20 thousandths. Once we reduced the spark plug down to 20 thousandths and we did several pulls, the misfiring was eliminated and the vehicle was able to perform those numbers that I described earlier and I showed you on the chart. Whenever you guys come to visit us to get your Stage 1 tune installed, we're also going to go ahead and recommend and install a brand new set of spark plugs. That way we can gap them correctly and you could be ready to go with those performance gains.